Good morning. We're joined by John and Alice Lee. They've been married for 46 years now, is it? John,
Yeah.
you were saying earlier 46 years, wasn't it?
Yes.
Now tell us about the first time that you both met.
He was at time dating my classmate, right?
Oh.
Yeah. A very casual relationship, I would say. And then they broke up. And because I knew them, I knew her, but I didn't really know him that well. So I just sort of was a comforter, you know. So I called him to talk to him and to comfort him. And that's how it started.
Oh, at what age was that? You were still in school, so in secondary school, was it?
Yes, I was about to finish, Form 5.
Form 5.
Yeah.
And was John older or John's the same age?
He's older.
2.5
years older, 3 older.
Okay. So John, at that time you were dating Alice's classmate.
Yeah.
More experience than her.
But tell us what happened after you broke up with the classmate. Like, did you make the first move with Alice, or Alice came and, like she said, comforted you?
Yeah. Every time he used to meet us because they are good classmates and they know one another. So he used to comfort me and always tell me, don't worry, John. So we'll take you to all the parties and you just follow us, introduce you to more girls. You know?
So Alice, you weren't the reason why they broke up though, right?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Because I didn't really know him. It's just that she was my classmate. And when I heard about it, to the rescue, that's all.
Really, Alice? Just wanted to rescue him. You didn't have any,
Sure.
maybe you had some feelings for him.
I didn't really know him at all. I mean, didn't know him. So, yeah, just to give words of comfort. And I think that's what I normally do, you know, to people.
Until today.
When did the sparks started flying?
I guess as we were going out, you know, with a group of friends and all that. And then there was a preference. I guess I found him different from the other guys that I was going out with. Maybe he was more persistent and charming in his way, yes. So that sort of like attracted me. But it took a while before anything could really develop, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
Because our courtship was a very long courtship, about 8 years. I didn't want to rush into anything because I had my career and all that. And when it was the right time, then I guess we decided that we would get married.
It took me quite a long time to really open my mouth and to last time we cannot say it's dating, you see. We don't know what is dating during our younger age, you know. So I just asked her how about going, because every time when we go for parties, behind her a lot of other guys, you know, a lot of other church guys, you know, who are surrounding her. So myself, as it is, just an outsider at the time, and I just thick skin, I just join in, I just don't care, gate crash, wherever she goes, I just follow, you know, and just make myself to forget about my past. So, and it happened that one day I just opened my mouth and asked her how about going for a show. You know, that means that to get her out of the group, instead of me following her to all the parties in the group.
What attracted you to Alice, John?
I think, as I said, because she also is a very good comforter, and I used to listen to her. So I felt quite happy to be with her, you know. But at the meantime, very heartbroken at the time, you know. So it's just I just like to go out and to parties and dance and all these things, you know, to forget about the past. So, and then she did agree with me to go for our first show, you know. But what's the name of the show? I don't think so. I can remember now, you know.
Yeah, I think it was Jerry Lewis
Wow.
show.
You remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
How essential do you think having children is to a marriage, to help strengthen a marriage?
I think that is very important because when the children come, they are a blessing anyway, and they bring much joy. Of course, we will go through a lot of like growing pains with them and all that, but that's just part of family life. But the joy is there.
That's why during this MCO, whenever it's MCO, we will stay with my son's place. So with the two grandchildren there, so to see to them, and then they will take care of me. So I felt very blessed. I mean, when all the family, that's what the family is about. You must have children when you intend to get married. You must build up your family to have children. If there's no children, there's no family. It's only you and your wife. Every time you see one another for 24 hours, and sometimes you don't talk. And most of the time, we argue of something which is unnecessary, and then after that, we apologize to one another. That's way it should be like a family.
Mm-hmm.
You must have some sort of quarrels and all these things to build it up. If not, you keep inside you, it's like a volcano. You erupt one day and then you say, okay, let's have space, let's have this, let's have that, and then after that you don't have anything.
But how about couples who do not want to have children?
I have a friend now, he's a very good friend of mine. It's because of the wife. He said, when we get married, we have a contract. We agree to one another that so many years we are not going to have a child, because the wife want to go for fitness and all these things, to take care of her body, to keep slim and all these things, which I don't think so that we really agree to my friend. I always tell him, I say, a family must have a child, no doubt. Yeah, you have a lot of problems after you have a first child, teething problems, and a new one coming into your family to look after the child. It's not an easy thing to do nowadays.
Yeah.
But I think at the beginning, life is good because you're very young and you've got your career, all that, so you're quite very occupied, all that. But as you grow older, then you realize that, you would love to have you would like to have a family. Then that's going to be quite difficult unless you adopt, or then you're going to be a parent at a very older age, and that's going to be a bit of a problem.
Do you think that is one of the most important things to maintain sort of a long-lasting marriage, to build a family?
Yes. To have children, you mean? Yes. Yes, I believe so. Because when you grow older, then your children are there for you, and you'll never know what's going to happen in future, what's it going to be like for you. And you definitely, when you need their support, they are there. And even in illness, they are there for you. So I think that's very important. It's not to become very lonely. And then as you grow older, then you sort of have to get into a home.
You have the two of you.
No, but you see, when we grow older, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be quite difficult. Like, okay, like he's having dialysis now, So then this is a different phase of our life now. The challenges we are facing now is that he has to go, and he has his good days and his not so good days. I am a cancer survivor. It's already 10 years. But for me, I always believe I'm always blessed. And I had all the time, all those years have been very good years for me. Yeah. So as you grow older, you'll never know what it's going to be like. What's your health going to be like? What your future is going to be like? And that is why when you have children, they will be there for you. That is if you have brought them up and you're close to them.
Tell us about going through sickness and health, in a marriage. Like you said, Alice, you were a cancer survivor and John is doing dialysis now. How does that affect the marriage, or does it strengthen it? Does it challenges it?
The first time when a doctor told me that your wife is having cancer, because during the years, I wouldn't know what is cancer. Cancer is a very fatal and very disease that sure will will die, you see.
Mm.
But until then, we knew that it's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, or stage 4. The latest stage is stage 4. So thank God that she just went for the
Mammogram.
Okay. Okay. Maybe when the doctor sort of told me I had this, so he had to be there too.
Yeah.
He cried, So I had to comfort him again to tell him it's okay. That, and somehow or other, I did not have that kind of fear or that kind of a depression. That's why I went through the chemo, the radiography, everything. I went through it very well. And in spite of going through all that, I was able to go and do whatever things that I was doing, like going to church and then doing certain things like, okay, a soup kitchen, I'm involved in that. I'll go out and do things like that. So that did not deter me at all for whatever I'm doing. And as I said, I'm blessed.
Yeah. How about from your point of view, John? Like, how did you feel that you see Alice so strong and so determined to fight this sickness?
Because during the time, I think what I should do the time was the only thing I can do is to give my support, whatever she's doing, try to support on whatever she's doing, like the soup kitchen, which she likes very much, to build up the soup kitchen. So I just take her around and the source for how to start the soup kitchen until today is 10 years already.
Mm.
So we've been doing this.
Yeah, and when I was going through all this, at least he was very supportive, because apart from seeing to me my needs, all that, so he was very, very supportive. And I always say he's very selfless.
And Alice, how about you when you found out that John needed to go through dialysis? How did you feel?
I guess I accepted that, and then I realized that we have to make sure he goes through it, comfortably. And now since he can't drive, I drive him every time, 3 times a week. We go down to, and he has his good days as well as sometimes not too good days.
So how has this marriage been through this episodes of sickness? Has it been strengthened, you think? Has it been challenged in a way?
I think the challenge is not very much, is because of how we have accepted it and how we are coping with it. And as I said, because of the support I have from my son and my daughters-in-law, I think that it has helped us so much. And I've got wonderful grandchildren who are very caring for him, And every time they'll remind him he's going to take his medication. And when he sits around, they will cover him with a blanket to keep him warm. And they're really, really caring. So as I said, we are blessed. We can't ask for anything more.
Now, what is the secret, you think, to your long-lasting marriage then? What is your secret? You want to start first, John?
We have to be patient with one another, to understand one another. And until today, as you know, as we grow older, our thinking is different. And they get irritated very easily, and then we try not to get it so easily irritated, and then shouting at one another, arguing with one another. So this is a fact of life, that as you grow older, things are changing, but in your heart will never change. Your heart will still always be the same.
How do you make the heart remain the same after you've been courting for 8 years, married for 46 years? So you've been with each other most of your life, right? 50
so
over years.
More understanding for 40 over years. You know more about your spouse. You know more about your wife, character, everything. So we have to bear it as a husband. There's no point arguing every time or pinpointing on the weaknesses of your wife and start quarreling. What are you doing? Why are you taking so long? So we shouldn't, as a family, to grow in love, a family to grow in peace. So you have to tolerate one another nowadays. As we get older, very impatient, I can say. And then
that's why I said, sorry, okay. This is all the later part where, as we grow older, our idiosyncrasies come up. And that's why we have to be more tolerant and patient and all that. But I would say from the beginning, our relationship grew because we did everything together. And even bringing up the children together with them, we did a lot of things like even gardening and sports and whatever. All the time, everything was done together.
Now, Alice and John, lastly, what advice would you give to newlyweds or married couples who are struggling to keep the marriage alive right now?
Yeah, the first thing is that when you get married, don't stay with your parent. Just like us, my parents offered us, when they renovated the house at the PJ Old Town, my father told us, upstairs we'll renovate for you all to stay, come and stay with us. So we discuss over it. We always discuss things, very important for discussion among all these things. So it's for our future. So she suggested, no, we are not going to stay with the parent. A lot of things will happen later on, you know. So we just rented an apartment in Fook Klang Road. When we get married, we just stay there instead of staying with the parent, you know.
Why is that not good? Like, if you have children, your parents can help.
Not that. I mean, of course, it help a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but there are other things, you see, so that we can have our own freedom. We can do what we like as a married, newlywed couple, you know, so that we don't face all these problems like in-laws and all these things.
I feel when you start a married life together, you must start it on your own, because there's so much to experience, because it's the first time you're experiencing one another, you know, and then being together for the first time. And as you go along, then you'll be learning a lot. So there should not be any interference from outside, like in-laws and all that. So that's very important. That's why when my eldest son, when he got married, he sort of like wanted to stay with us. I said, no, you have to be on your own. And of course, we got, you know, our house renovated and all that, and he stayed there. And I feel that that should be, for couples who are getting married, they should be on their own, not with family.
Dependable.
Yeah, not with in-laws or whatever. And I feel to keep a marriage together, communication is so important. Communication and sharing. Because if you don't share your problems and all that, then you will never know, and you will not be able to help each other, you know. Yeah. And there must also be like forgiveness. Yeah, because you could do something that's going to hurt the other person, and there must be such a thing as saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that is very important. And they always say, never let the sun set on your anger. So whatever it is, before going to bed, I think you should like reconcile. That's important. Communication, sharing, very important.
All right. Well, thank you so much, John and Alice, for this chit chat and for the wonderful advice.